Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to take a quick look at the 26.1 update. It isn't that huge an update, it is some bug fixes mainly. There is a little tweak to something that is already in the game in terms of there is a skill adjustment. It isn't anything the size of 26.0 or 25.0. So as it states, 26.1 update, we're releasing a minor update which includes a couple of combat effect updates and a variety of bug fixes. And the general update is as follows: trauma update. The trauma effect is being updated so that it will now trigger from resisted effects in addition to recovering effects. Before, what would happen is you'd have to have trauma on a character, you'd also have to have multiple debuffs on that character, and that character would have to have them cleansed off them in some way. There was a new character introduced in the game, Willie, who actually does this offensively, so he just removes all effects off of a character and that can trigger trauma. So that was actually quite nice, because before what could happen is they could just run out and nothing would happen. Trauma would just be ineffective. Even if someone had 20 debuffs on them, it wouldn't do anything. Whereas in this case, if they have trauma on them and they have stun resist and you try and stun them, and let's say it's 4,000 trauma, they'll take 4,000 damage because they resisted it. That is actually obviously pretty strong. And it says the new trauma description will be as follows: a character under the effect of trauma receives a specified amount of unmitigatable damage each time another negative status effect or damage over time is resisted or recovered from that character. Now, obviously a lot of people are already saying this is to counter Trader. The issue with Trader is that he can get 100% trauma resist, so he can have it where he can't even have trauma put on him in the first place. And even if he doesn't have a resist mod, his base resist because of his specialist skill is 50%. I mean, it says it's 50%. It feels like it's 80%, I'm going to be honest. So he can just straight up resist the trauma in the first place and it's not going to happen. And there are not too many ways you can get trauma on a character in the S-Class era. I think they need to add a character that actually has good amounts of trauma on an active skill to make it a bit more viable. The last part says Choice Box 4 will be removed from the war wheel, and this is something that they talked about a long time ago in terms of removing Choice Box 4 and replacing those odds. I think it's 20% on the wheel with 6-star odds. It doesn't really change anything for me. I still think that war wheel is absolutely terrible and I'm not going to ever be pulling from it until it gets updated. I actually think the Choice Box 4 is better than the replacement of 6-star characters. Personally, I'd rather 50 S-Class collectible cards than 6-star character, but they're still so bad, both of them, that I'm just not pulling. Nope, no thank you. And I do believe that the 6-star odds now go up to into the 80% chance to pull, which just is terrible. There are also some general bug fixes, and it says S-Class badges and glows are now displayed in all screens and areas of the game. Fixed an issue where opening mob boxes could cause a game reload. This was mainly with the Anvil event that is ongoing. Fixed an issue where players could get negative coin balances after leveling up fighters. I think this was to do with inventory food bags. Hopefully people who had that happen will be refunded the coins, because that is absolutely atrocious. Fixed an issue where black market tab names would sometimes display incorrectly, and this was generally with the diamond tokens just being a random name every time, just being copying another one. For instance, I think the current Roadathon event, the Roadathon tab, the diamond tokens one is called Roadathon as well. Fixed an issue with the region war leaderboards that would sometimes show incorrect scores while loading. And lastly, there are some combat bug fixes. Fixed a visual issue where equipping attack down resist or defense down resist mod will cause fighters' stats to display incorrectly. It was basically displaying as if you were having your attack or defense reduced by that mod. It was kind of strange. It was a visual issue only though. Fixed an issue where Lily's adrenaline rush could still do damage despite main being resisted, so that's a thing apparently. Fixed Firestarter so that it will now proc from a multi-attack adrenaline rush, so let's expect a multi-hit character coming in the future with Firestarter as the specialist skill. fixed an issue that was preventing the healing effect on Willie's weapon. I noticed this day one, but obviously not a lot of people would have got their hands on the S-Class to really realise it was happening, but this was definitely an issue early on, and I'm glad that's fixed. The following update is now available and should appear in all regional stores over the next days. So it will be rolling out and everyone will be able to download it. It's not a major update, but I thought I'd bring it to your attention. The main part is that trauma update, and in terms of how effective it is, like I said, there's pretty much only 2 characters that give trauma in good amounts that I can remember, and I think it's just Willie and Angel, right? I don't really think anyone else in the S-Class era gives a good amount of trauma. And it's on rushes, so it's turn 3, and in those turns there's been resist and stuff already, but I mean, it's definitely going to make it more powerful, and it's definitely going to make it have it so it's got more potential to actually do something rather than nothing, so anything's better than nothing. But that is the end of this video. 26.1 update is coming to you very soon. Check to see if an update is available to you right now, but do tell me what you think about the update, mainly to trauma, I guess. That is the end of my video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.